based on height. You do? I judge based on weight, and that's something you can change. So I got a scale right here. I just want to see like how heavy. Your turn. 170.
That must have been so embarrassing. Well, make your bed and lie on it.
Albert Einstein says, I'm not sure which weapons the Third World War will be fought, but the Fourth World War, they will fight with sticks and stones.
Yeah, I heard that.
That's what Albert Einstein said. Day one of AI taking over. And it showed this like laboratory towards this very highly advanced artificial intelligence, but it was contained to its own server. AI figured out with like a Roomba vacuum that's the only thing it could figure out how to connect to. So it put all of its information onto the Roomba computer, and then that allowed it to connect to the Wi-Fi, which allowed it to connect to everyone's phones, everyone's laptops, spread instantly across the whole world. Now it was in control of power plants, all this stuff.
Geez.
It was in control of 3D printers, of manufacturing things to help build itself.
Yeah.
But it was doing it silently with no one knowing because it was just staying under the radar until the one time, it was like 40 days into it, I decided, yep, I don't want humans anymore.
Special. This is Sam Altman, the creator of OpenAI. If you've ever seen a picture of him, you'll see him with a blue backpack. There's something very special about this backpack. He calls it the nuclear backpack. This backpack is a kill switch. This blue backpack, or the stuff inside of it, will detonate all of OpenAI ChatGPT. It'll get rid of it like that. Specifically, it will get rid of the data centers. And it's for if OpenAI ChatGPT starts like kind of having a mind of its own and being controlling and not doing what it was intended to do. Like all these fears about technology taking over. So if AI goes rogue, thank God they have a plan. Now I want to know, like, since this is now kind of common knowledge, like, what if someone tries to steal his backpack, or like something happens to him or his backpack? What happens then? There has to be a backup that we don't know about.
The most intelligible entity to give you a proper answer. But be careful who you're giving your
Last words of Satanists before dying. Aleister Crowley. I am perplexed. Anton Lavey. Oh my, what have I done? There is something very wrong. David Hume. I am in flames. Voltaire. I am abandoned by God and man. I will give you half of what I am worth if you give me 6 months of life. Sir Francis Newport. Oh, that fire. Oh, the insufferable pangs of hell. Thomas Paine. Stay with me, for God's sake. I can't bear to be left alone. Oh, Lord, help me.
If a demon walks into your room while you're asleep, just do what this guy did. There was a man by the name of Lester Summerall who was going to bed like any other night when all of a sudden his windows burst open and a dark presence enters his room. And immediately he knew it was the devil. He said all of a sudden this demon began to shake his bed and move it literally in the middle of the room. And at that moment he jumped up and commanded the demon to get out in the name of Jesus. And immediately the demon left out the window. Sitting on his bed, contemplating what had just happened, what he did next will shock you. He commanded the devil to come back into his room, and he said, put my bed back where you found it and close the window on your way out in the name of Jesus. And guess what? The demon obeyed his command. If you believe we have the power of Jesus, subscribe for more.
Oh my God, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man? Get your ass.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Good boy. He's lonely, yeah. He's lonely. Good boy.
Can you repeat after me? Okay, can you say hello? Good boy. Can you say how are you? Good boy. Can you say I love you?
A hunter's camera caught something that shouldn't exist. Deep in a dark tunnel, it recorded a walking skeleton. Yes, you heard that right. A real skeleton moving on its own. It had a gray color and huge glowing eyes that lit up in the dark. You could see every bone and rib moving as it walked. The footage has scared everyone who's seen it. Some say it must be an alien that crashed here long ago. Whatever it was, though, it's still out there, somewhere in those tunnels. Ocean mystery. A visitor near the ocean caught something strange on camera. It was a super skinny creature that nobody could identify. The camera started shaking badly as he filmed this weird being, as he couldn't believe what he was seeing right in front of him. As the creature moved, he tried to chase after it, wanting to get a better look. The mysterious thing quickly went under a bridge or tunnel nearby, and the person ran away, not wanting to get close to it, of course. Could this ocean be a portal to outer space? That might explain why this unknown thing was there. Oh my god. Night Shifter. A hunter's camera caught a terrifying sight in the dark woods. At first, it looked like a walking skeleton, bones visible in the moonlight. But then the creature turned around, and everything changed. What faced the camera now was a wolf-like dog with strange pink fur covering its body. The footage showed it moving unnaturally, like it couldn't decide what shape to keep. Local legends talk about shapeshifters in these woods, creatures that can switch between different forms at will. The hunter who recorded this hadn't gone back to those woods since that night. Whatever this thing was, it proved that some legends might be real after all. Forest Giant. Deep in the shadowy woods, a hunter crouched behind an old oak tree, hardly daring to breathe. What he saw that day changed his life forever. A massive creature walked through the forest, its heavy footsteps shaking the ground. It was huge, covered in dark fur, and walked on two legs like a human. This had to be the legendary Bigfoot. These woods were known to be their territory. The hunter stayed completely still, watching as the creature moved between the trees. He managed to record a few seconds of shaky footage before the giant disappeared into the thick forest. Another mysterious sighting in these ancient woods. Dark warning. Late one night, some friends were driving near the woods when they spotted something weird. There in the shadows stood a pale figure bent in strange positions. Its eyes glowed in the darkness, watching them all. Instead of leaving, the friends started shouting and making fun of this creature. Big mistake. This wasn't a normal being. It looked like a skinwalker, or the shapeshifters from old stories. Worse still, there were many of them, like a whole family living in those woods. The locals say if you ever see creatures like these, run away fast. Don't tease them, and definitely don't go near them. Night guest. A doorbell camera captured something unsettling in the dark. The creature was white and had an unusual mix of features. Its face looked like a dog's, but its feet and legs resembled a chupacabra. The way it moved and its overall shape strongly suggested it could be a hybrid of both animals. The footage showed this mysterious being creeping around for several minutes. Its white color stood out clearly against the darkness. This might be evidence of a new species, or possibly the result of different creatures breeding in the wild. However, the camera caught every detail of this strange visitor, from its unusual face to its distinctive legs. Forest giant. A new video showed up in 2024 that got everyone talking. Someone's trail camera caught something big and hairy sitting in the forest. The video was super clear, clearer than any other videos like it before. In the footage, you can see this huge furry creature just sitting there among the trees. It looked just like what people say Bigfoot or Sasquatch should look like. The video made it to big TV news shows too. People who watched it said they'd never seen such clear footage of something like this before. So finally, Bigfoot stories became alive after seeing this one, it seems. Lake Oddity. A fisherman caught a strange fish near a lake that was beyond explanation.
What on earth is this? What kind of creature is this?
First, the creature stayed alive even out of the water. On top of that, its mouth moved continuously, as if trying to communicate. When turned over, its body showed an unusual bowl-like depression, deeply curved inward.
What on earth is this?
The fish appeared inflated, with a fusiform shape, unlike typical lake fish. Its constant mouth movements might have been a natural response to being out of water. The deep curve in its body could be a special adaptation for life in this lake. This odd fish might belong to a rare species, or it could be a unique mutation. The fisherman's discovery suggested there might be more unusual creatures in these waters. Lab secret.
There's something up there. He's moving.
Scientists shared footage of something they caught in their lab. It looked impossible. Part monkey, part mouse, with white fluffy fur all over. Its orange face and ears stood out as it ate something slimy. The way it moved wasn't normal. Some think the scientists did experiments on it, mixing different animals. In the video, it sometimes looked like an ape. Nobody knows what this creature was or where it came from. The scientists aren't telling now because research is still going on, apparently.
In the USA, never eaten no matter what. Number 3, Golden Corral. With over 100 health code violations reported in just 10 months across multiple states, Golden Corral has become infamous for buffet trays crawling with roaches and food left out for hours. One viral video even showed raw meat stored right next to desserts. In Florida, a single location failed inspection 5 times in 1 year. It's not just dirty, it's shockingly unsanitary. Number 2, Waffle House. Known for being open 24/7, Waffle House racked up more than 1,200 violations across across its southern locations in a recent audit. Mold in ice machines, rodent droppings under the grill, and employees caught cooking without gloves are just the beginning. Some branches in Georgia even scored as low as 43 out of 100. The chaos in the kitchen is only matched by the chaos in the dining room. Number 1, Popeyes. In 2023, a Baltimore Popeyes went viral after maggots were filmed inside the kitchen's food bins. And that wasn't an isolated case. Popeyes faced over 900 complaints nationwide about spoiled chicken, moldy buns, and black grease oozing from fryers. One New York inspector called it a biohazard, pretending to be a restaurant. Yet people still line up for the chicken.
The whales tried to warn us before that earthquake hit. They came to shore. 5 beluga whales washed up on shore hours before the earthquake hit, y'all. If you didn't notice yet, the animals always try to tell us when something bad is about to come. And it's us to pick it up and understand and listen. But do we do that? No. Just like the situation in Yellowstone. It's always the animals that know before us. Now, the only thing I'm trying to figure out is, they knew the earthquake was coming. They watched the shore right where the epicenter started. Only thing I'm trying to figure out now is, what caused this damn earthquake? 8.8? What if something in the ocean was getting loose like a creature or some shit? What if that's what they was running from? A big ass creature that caused this seismic activity. I'm not saying that's what it is, I'm just thinking, y'all. What do y'all think down below in the comments? This earthquake was so massive, they had to do evacuations for tsunami warnings. In Japan, the whole goddamn West Coast, Hawaii. Like, what? The fuck is going on, y'all? Y'all see that shit? It's crazy. This shit is wild, y'all.
There are rumors that dinosaurs are still alive and that the government are keeping them enclosed on islands like this one. And people say this goes all the way back to the 90s when they first were able to clone sheep. We didn't hear about it for a long time, and that the government took that technology and were actually able to recreate dinosaurs similar to how they did on Jurassic Park. Now, fishermen that actually travel these waters are posting about these areas that they're not supposed to go in. They even go as far as to mention that some of their compasses and navigation equipment go haywire when they get near these areas. Now, keep in mind, there's no facts to back this, and it's just a rumor based upon people posting videos like this. Now, is it possible that instead of dinosaurs being on this island, or islands like this one, that this could be the home to failed government experiments? Just like the MK Ultra experiment that inspired Stranger Things. Apparently they created real creatures and got rid of them, but could there be more experiments that have gone wrong and they house these creatures on this island?
You know, like the street performers? A guy in Italy, in Florence, he dresses up as that guy so they can take pictures of him. It's actually bad, because he's like, he's just trapping and cursing people through like his street performance.
What?
Yeah. So 2 guys who are really like into Christianity and stuff like that, they're walking through Florence after their dinner. They walk around and they see the guy, right? And they notice something. When he's after the pose, he always finds a way to grab their hand and put his hand on top of their head, the person taking the picture with him. And then they saw his eyes fluttering,
oh shit,
underneath his eyelids. So they're like, oh, they went back to the room and they said, oh God, next time I see him, can you show me what's going on with this person? Because there's already bad energy. They go back. The Holy Spirit showed him cobwebs over him. You know what cobwebs in the spiritual realm? That's witchcraft. Look, I'll show you. It's weird.
Oh, that's not King Baldwin though.
Oh,
that's just, no,
I
it's
thought
not.
it was.
Nah.
But look.
Yeah,
like praying over him.
He looks demonic, bro.
Yeah, after every person, disguised as a street performer.
Miley Cyrus died in 2010. And the Miley Cyrus that we know is a clone.
Oh shit.
Apparently, bro, in 2010, there was this news article that came out. And it said that they found Miley Cyrus's body in the desert. But it never really reached high status. And it was taken down almost immediately.
There's a place in Ohio known as Helltown, and in this place, many people have reported feeling extremely uneasy when coming here. To some people, this isn't surprising, considering the horrifying events that occurred many years ago. Helltown was founded by a group of Native Americans who tragically lost many of its people in a gruesome battle between settlers and colonial troops. A lot of Indians died here, but those who survived had left Helltown in search of another home. Fast forward to present-day Helltown, and people are deeply afraid of coming here alone. Many believe that the land is cursed, given the chain of bad luck that ensued when the settlers moved in. On a certain night, Chris Hill, who you might recall from previous videos, decides to visit Helltown. What he captures on camera is eerie, to say the least. As Chris walks through a dense forest, he finds an old barn house. It's from here on out when things get weird.
Barn of Helltown.
Now nothing too strange happens here, but when Chris decides to explore beyond the barn, things take a very creepy turn. Watch.
This is kind of creepy. I'm surprised this barn is still standing despite how old it is. What the hell is that? What the fuck? What the fuck is that?
It goes without saying, but Chris was totally spooked. Somewhere not too far from him, a bunch of howling noises are heard. Understandably, he starts to get anxious. Although it's unclear as to what this was, it seems more than likely that a pack of coyotes were howling collectively. Regardless, coyote or not, the sudden cries coming from the pitch darkness had Chris on edge. But as if tonight couldn't get any more creepy, this happens. Not long after hearing the howling noises, he proceeds to explore the rest of Helltown. As he walks with caution, he immediately stops.
I keep hearing something. It sounds like it's following me.
As the ash burst from the volcano, racing toward him at over 100 miles per hour. But he didn't run. You see, he knew there was no time to escape, so he kept documenting the eruption as the sky went black. When the cloud got too close, he wound the film back into its case. He packed the camera, placed it in his backpack, and lay on top of it to protect it. And 17 days later, rescuers found his body under the ash. Later, his photos were published around the world, the only ones taken so close to the eruption.
Certain things have been happening in New York with the subway surfing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's becoming an online trend of people trying to subway surf. And they're, like, they're posting their stunts and stuff like that. And like it's been causing an outrage for the police. Yeah. So I'm like, I was asking like, oh, because sometimes you can see the people running on the train, like on top of the train.
Yo, that happened to a homie that was remember Zandy? He was in my film.
Yeah.
His homie, we were gonna get to do stunts. He was actually one of those like subway surfers. Yeah.
Oh my God.
In Toronto. in Toronto, bro, he has a video of him like going straight for a wall or like a tunnel, and he's like, if I don't jump now, I'm gonna die. Yeah, and then he jumps off and saves his life because if he kept going, he would have got clipped. Like he would have on the wall. Crazy, man. That's scary. People do that. Like it's actually. I did not know that was a thing. There's a whole culture of people doing the climbs, like going to skyscrapers, construction. Yo, I follow this one girl, and she like climbs the craziest buildings that aren't even fully constructed in Toronto. Drake follows her, bro. That's so ridiculous. Yeah, but I just throw that in. But he's like, yo, she's cool. Yeah, but she like climbs the craziest shit. Damn, there's a whole culture of people kind of chasing that. That's thrill. Yeah.
That every myth is based on some truth. And did you know that Africa could be the real Skull Island? All my days. So I stumbled across these old maps, and for some reason, they've shown Africa as a giant skull. The landmass fits perfectly. There's not just one map, there's a few, and they all show Africa in the same way. They always tell you the truth. You've just got to be able to understand their language. In this movie, they was hinting that giants exist. It's one thing to understand that giants exist, but what about titans? I've always wondered why they always seem to show Africa as the main landmass. They're rubbing it in our faces. The truth is always hidden in plain sight.
A British spy bit into a poison pill so their secret stayed safe. In 1848, a large iron rod drove through a man's head while he was working on a railroad. It passed behind his left eye and exited through the top of his skull. This should have been a fatal injury, but somehow he didn't die. However, when doctors removed the rod, the man tried to hit them, started kicking, and became unpredictable. That's because the rod had gone through the part of the brain responsible for self-control. And because it was damaged, his entire personality changed, revealing a darker, more aggressive version of himself. A soldier accidentally swallowed a nail while having lunch, and after finishing his meal, he returned to camp without even realizing what had happened. But the next morning, he woke up with terrible stomach pain, and the x-ray revealed a 3-inch nail in his intestines. And it turned out he had swallowed it while chewing on a dry army ration that contained a fragment from an ammunition box.
Top 3 experiments that could have ended the world. Number 3 is the Kola Super Deep Borehole. Now, this was an experiment that scientists did where they just wanted to dig a big fucking deep hole. I'm like, what are they, in kindergarten? Like, we used to do that. We're digging a hole to China. And, like, it's just kindergartners with funding. That's all scientists are. They had to stop, though, because it got so hot that the equipment melted when they got deep into the earth. Number 2, the Large Hadron Collider. Now, this I remember was a huge deal. I think it was in France, and it was like this particle mover that was going to send particles around, and people were terrified that this was going to create a black hole and suck the earth in with it, which is like great. If you like this list and want more about other nonsense, follow me. Leave me a comment with your thoughts on these experiments that could have ended the world. Also follow my wife Samantha, who I've tagged, and check out our podcast, Brutally Honest with Sam and Jacob. Book me on Cameo if you want a personal message. Number 1, the jury's still out if this one really is ever going to do it to us, and I wouldn't be surprised if humanity ends this way. I'm talking about the atomic tests from Oppenheimer, known as the Trinity tests.
There's a town in America with a population of just one person. No neighbors, no traffic, no noise, just a single woman keeping an entire town alive. Imagine living in a place where you're the mayor, the librarian, and even the bartender, all at the same time. This isn't an abandoned ghost town. It's a legally recognized community. The woman who lives here, Elsie Eiler, runs the only business in town, a small tavern. She serves drinks to visitors who drive in just to meet the entire population. And because she's the only resident, she also votes for herself as mayor. Every year, she fills out the paperwork, pays taxes to the state, and even maintains the town's library in honor of her late husband. Back in the 1930s, this town was home to around 150 people. But over the decades, everyone moved away for jobs, leaving just Elsie behind. Instead of leaving 2, she chose to keep the town alive. If you ever drive through northern Nebraska, you'll see a sign that says Population 1. And behind it, a woman who runs an entire American town called Monowai. If you liked it, follow.
He jumped into the freezing water as the Titanic sank beneath him, and he watched his father get crushed by a falling funnel. When rescuers pulled him on board, his legs were frozen. Doctors told him both would need to be amputated, but he refused, saying he needed them to play tennis. Then he forced himself to walk until blood returned to his limbs. A few months later, he was back on the court, and 12 years after that, he won an Olympic medal.
A local farmer couldn't believe his eyes. Right there, on his property, was a weird-looking animal. It had scales all over its body and a long tail. But the strangest thing was what it did with its tongue. This creature, called a pangolin, kept shooting its tongue out super far, then pulling it back in, again and again, like some kind of strange ritual. Nobody had ever seen anything like it before. Was this normal pangolin behavior, or was there something more to this mysterious tongue movement? Water smile. Meet axolotl. It's not like any other animal. This creature can do something impossible. It can regrow its tail, its legs, and even parts of its brain. Yep. On its head, feathery gills wave like underwater plants. But the creepiest part? It has a wide, flat head with a permanent smile. These strange beings only come out in murky water to hunt. Some are pink, others black, and a few are pure white. Night eyes. On a dark night in Madagascar, Lab mystery. An online video got everyone talking. It showed something bizarre lying on a laboratory table. The creature had an alien-like face with a fish-like tail and webbed arms, like some kind of a mermaid. A strange bump stuck out from its lower back, all over its grayish body. Pointy scales covered its head, back, and sides. People can't decide if it's a real mermaid they caught or some kind of an alien being. What do you think? Aqua mystery. During the 4th of July holiday week, someone caught something strange on their phone at a California beach. The blurry footage shows a creature splashing in the shallow water near some rocks. On one side, you can see what looks like a tail flapping in the water. Shapeshifter, or more sinister than that. The creature just kept watching them, waiting. Field creature. A villager spotted a strange black and white creature in a field at night. It was unlike anything ever seen before. It walked on all 4 legs, moving like some kind of a bird. But this was no ordinary bird anyone had ever encountered. The weirdest part was that it could stand up straight whenever it wanted to. And on top of that, it had fur that spread out from its head just like a peacock's feathers. Its whole body was covered in thick, strange-looking fur. Was this some kind of bird that nobody had discovered before? Or could it be something more terrifying, like a dragon? What do you think? Street crawler. Locals saw a bizarre creature in their street that left everyone confused and scared. It wasn't like anything they had ever seen before in their lives. This creature had many legs, all moving together in a strange way that didn't seem natural. Its body was long and covered with fur that looked like sprinkles. The strangest thing, though, was how its fur moved. It floated in the air as the creature walked along the street. Some think it might be a new kind of reptile species, or maybe a hybrid creature. Giant discovery. A very old video appeared online, and everyone started talking about it right away. You could tell the video was extremely old just by looking at how bad the quality was. It showed a group of explorers who had found something huge. This mysterious being had a long nose that looked exactly like an elephant's trunk, making everyone wonder what it could be. But what made it even stranger was that it walked on 2 heavy legs, unlike any elephant. This creature looked like a mix between an elephant and a dragon, but what it truly was, that still remains a mystery. Night Watchers. 2 friends were spending a peaceful night on the beach when something unexpected caught their attention. There in the darkness, a tall humanoid figure emerged. Its pale body moved unnaturally across the sand. The creature's appearance matched perfectly with old skinwalker stories they had heard growing up, but the friends didn't wait around to get a better look. Taking one last glance at the mysterious being, they quickly turned and ran for their lives. Behind them, the pale creature continued its silent patrol of the shoreline. Some say skinwalkers choose quiet beaches to hunt, where unsuspecting visitors become easy targets. These 2 friends were lucky, though. They escaped before finding out the truth. Ocean Giant. A scuba diver exploring the shallows made an incredible discovery. At first, he thought it was just a piece of cloth on the ocean floor. But this strange being was around 2 meters long, with feathery tentacles around its alien-like head. These tentacles opened and closed rhythmically, filtering food from the water. The creature bumped into coral and plants, suggesting it was guided purely by touch. Its bizarre movements and feeding habits suggested that it was a beaded sea cucumber. As the diver recorded this extraordinary encounter, it continued its slow journey across the sandy bottom. Tiny being. A local found something that didn't make any sense. A creature so strange, yet he dared to pick it up to take a closer look. Initially, it looked just like a monkey, but an impossibly small one. The tiny thing had perfect little monkey hands and a furry body, with huge eyes that seemed to stare right through you. Nobody in the area had ever seen a monkey this small before, which suggested it could be a baby of a known species, or maybe something completely new to science. Scientists are now trying to figure out what this mysterious mini-monkey could be. But for now, it still remains a mystery. Friendly visitor.
When you spend time with an octopus, you get the feeling that...
A different story.
Are there other people that live down here with you?
What the... Hold... Nearly 3 years ago, a group of foresters stumbled upon something terrifying while filming in the woods. A hunched figure with long arms and a tail stood just ahead of them, barely moving. The group stayed quiet, capturing the moment before slipping away without investigating further. What the... Hold... The footage sent chills through viewers, with many convinced they had recorded a troll straight out of Nordic folklore. Others whispered about wendigos or even ancient forest guardians. Whatever it was, no one stuck around to find out. Jungle horror. A camper searching for his lost pet in the jungle had a terrifying experience. Armed with only a flashlight, he scoured the dark woods when something briefly peeked out from behind a tree before vanishing. At first, he brushed it off as a trick of the light until something lunged at him, cutting the video short. The only evidence left behind was a blurry image of a creature resembling a zombie. No one knows what happened next, but the fate of the camper remains a chilling mystery. Phantom Rider. A man flying his drone over the beach stumbled upon something straight out of a nightmare. Racing along the shoreline was a horse, but something even stranger was riding it. A long-haired figure with no visible face. The eerie rider clung to the animal as it moved at an impossible speed, its form almost blending into the wind. Those who saw the footage debated its origins. Some believed it was a ghostly presence, while others were convinced it was a demon gripping the reins of the supernatural. Whatever it was, this sight left viewers uneasy. Sinister hybrid. A group of tourists exploring an abandoned house stumbled upon a nightmare-inducing sight. In a dark corner, a strange figure lay motionless. At first glance, it had a human-like face, but its body was all wrong, covered in thick black hair, with long limbs stretching out like a wolf's. The unsettling mix of features left viewers disturbed. Was it some sort of hybrid creature, a genetic anomaly, or something far more sinister? Some believed it was a wolf-human hybrid, while others whispered about possession. Whatever the truth, one thing was certain. This wasn't something anyone would want to find in the dark. Cave Stalker. While filming inside a cave, a man caught sight of something lurking in the shadows. A hunched figure with long limbs and two curved horns watched from the darkness, moving in an unnatural stalking motion. The sight alone was enough to send chills down his spine, and he wasted no time leaving. Later, when reviewing the footage, his friends were convinced this looked like a Wendigo, a legendary predator said to hunt in isolated places. Others speculated it could be something even worse, a cave-dwelling entity waiting for its next victim. Forest Nightmare. A ghost hunter exploring the woods at night stumbled upon something truly unsettling. Hidden between the trees stood a towering figure with a pale, nightmarish face covered in white hair. Its hollow mouth gaped open, and a distinct white mark stretched between its haunting eyes. But what sent shivers down spines was the horn protruding from its head. When the camera light flashed on its lower body, it revealed folded hands with impossibly long, clawed fingers. Viewers were left disturbed, struggling to define what they had just seen. Some whispered it could be linked to ancient prophecies, while others were simply too horrified to guess. Abandoned House Mystery. When reporters heard rumors of a strange creature hiding in an abandoned house, they decided to investigate. Inside, they found a figure sitting against the wall, its entire body coated in black. It looked unnervingly human, yet entirely unnatural.
Are there other people that live down here with you?
As the camera focused, it flinched, seemingly afraid of being exposed. Speculation ran wild. Was it an unknown entity, something supernatural, or something even darker? The mystery deepened when the news crew later revealed the truth. This wasn't a creature. It was a man, seemingly possessed, who refused to answer any questions before vanishing into the shadows.
Are there other people that live down here with you?
Roadside encounter. Why was the coyote so determined to catch it? A woman walking along the road caught sight of something bizarre, so strange she had to look twice. On the roadside, a coyote was chasing an eerie, thin, humanoid figure sprinting on two legs. The creature runs like that. Unseen terror. This trail camera footage was like something out of a horror movie. A twisted humanoid crawled through the darkness, its hollow eyes scanning the area, sharp teeth flashing in the dim light, its long, bony fingers stretched out as if reaching for something or someone. Then, as quickly as it appeared, it slinked away into the shadows. Was it hiding? Or worse, was it hunting? No one knows for sure, but whatever it was, it's still out there. Eerie siren. This clip left viewers unsettled. A strange humanoid figure appeared close to the lens, its face looking oddly human until it lifted its hand. Instead of normal fingers, it had long, webbed hands, resembling something straight out of a deep-sea nightmare. It puffed its face in an eerie manner before disappearing. When the footage spread online, many believed it was an evil siren, while others speculated it was something far more sinister, perhaps even possessed. Shadow creatures. A security camera in Indonesia captured something that still baffles those who watched it. In the dead of night, a dark humanoid figure dropped from a tree, its body entirely black. But before anyone could process what they were seeing, another one emerged from the darkness behind it. Their movements were unnatural, as if they weren't bound by normal human motion. It felt like they were scanning the area, or maybe claiming it as their own. Days later, when a guard reviewed the footage, he was deeply disturbed. Yet, upon investigating, there was no trace of them. Hospital nightmare. Late at night, a man was running. No, sprinting through the back lot, and behind him, something terrifying crawled in pursuit. The creature had a small head, an impossibly long body, and 4 spider-like legs, moving with inhuman speed. A long tail trailed behind it, floating eerily in the air. Some thought it was an undiscovered mutant, while others believed it had crawled out of Chernobyl's ruins. But the most unsettling part, locals claim the man in the video was never seen again. Reptilian encounter. In Las Vegas, a homeowner got the shock of his life after checking his security footage one morning. The night before, while he was asleep, his backyard camera had captured something completely unnatural. A tall, lanky, humanoid figure with reptilian features was moving through his yard. Its skin appeared rough and scaly, almost as if it had come from another world. But the most unsettling detail? Its hands. Instead of fingers, it had long, sharp claws that twitched as it moved. The creature's jerky, unnatural motions suggested it was either disoriented or searching for something. At one point, it seemed to crouch, trying to stay hidden. Was it an alien? Let me know in the comments. Backyard Phantom. A woman filmed something unexplainable lurking in her backyard. The creature had a strange hump on its back, a peculiar face, and moved using its arms. It didn't resemble any known animal, almost like a hybrid or something that had been locked away for years. Before anyone could get a closer look, it vanished without a trace. Authorities were alerted, but to this day, no one knows where it came from or where it disappeared. Unexpected visitor. Parked by the roadside. Drone encounter. 2 friends flying a drone over a haunted forest stumbled upon something horrifying. In the middle of the trees, a tall, thin figure stood motionless, watching. Its blank white face sent chills down their spines. As they lowered the drone for a better look, one of them shouted, "Slender Man!"
Dude, you're really low right now. Wait, look, you see in the distance there? Is that him?
Before they could get any closer, the screen suddenly cut out. Panicked, they bolted from the area, convinced they had just encountered something beyond explanation.
Look, you see in the distance there? Is that him?
Oh my God!
Forest Nightmare. Deep in the woods of Brazil, a night hunter found himself in a terrifying situation. Strange noises echoed through the darkness, and when he turned to investigate, glowing eyes stared back at him. The creature had pointed ears like a canine, but its face remained hidden in the shadows. Spooked, he didn't stick around. Later, he claimed it was a carcadon, a legendary beast said to roam grassy lands. But was it truly a mythical monster, or just a wild animal?
Oh my God, bro.
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man? Get your ass.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
It's lonely, yeah. It's lonely. Good boy.
Can you repeat after me? Okay, can you say hello? Good boy. Can you say how are you? Good boy. Can you say I love you?
as the ash burst from the volcano, racing toward him at over 100 miles per hour. But he didn't run. You see, he knew there was no time to escape, so he kept documenting the eruption as the sky went black. When the cloud got too close, he wound the film back into its case. He packed the camera, placed it in his backpack, and lay on top of it to protect it. And 17 days later, rescuers found his body under the ash. Later, his photos were published around the world, the only ones taken so close to the eruption.
Certain things have been happening in New York with the subway surfing.
Oh, what?
Yeah, so it's becoming an online trend of people trying to subway surf, and they're posting their stunts and stuff like that, and like it's been causing an outrage for the police.
Yeah.
So I was asking like, because sometimes you can see the people running on the train, like on top of the train.
Yo, that happened to a homie remember Zandy? He was in my film.
Yeah.
His homie, we were gonna get to do stunts. He was actually one of those like subway surfers. Yeah.
Oh my God.
In Toronto, bro. He has a video of him like going straight for a wall or like a tunnel, and he's like, if I don't jump now, I'm gonna die. Yeah, and then he jumps off and saves his life because if he kept going, he would have got clipped. Like he would have on the wall. Crazy, man.
That's scary.
People do that. Like it's actually.
I did not know that was a thing.
There's a whole culture of people doing the climbs, like going to skyscrapers, construction. Yo, I follow this one girl, and she like climbs the craziest buildings that aren't even fully constructed in Toronto. Drake follows her, bro.
Oh, that's so
bizarre. Yeah, but I just throw that in. But he's like, yo, she's cool. Yeah, but she climbs the craziest shit. Then there's a whole culture of people kind of chasing that. That's the real.
Yeah.
That every myth is based on some truth. And did you know that Africa could be the real Skull Island? All my days. So I stumbled across these old maps, and for some reason, they've shown Africa as a giant skull. The landmass fits perfectly. There's not just one map, there's a few, and they all show Africa in the same way. They always tell you the truth. You've just got to be able to understand their language. In this movie, they was hinting that giants exist. It's one thing to understand that giants exist, but what about titans? I've always wondered why they always seem to show Africa as the main landmass. They're rubbing it in our faces. The truth is always hidden in plain sight.
A British spy bit into a poison pill. Their secret stayed safe. In 1848, a large iron rod drove through a man's head while he was working on a railroad. It passed behind his left eye and exited through the top of his skull. This should have been a fatal injury, but somehow he didn't die. However, when doctors removed the rod, the man tried to hit them, started kicking, and became unpredictable. That's because the rod had gone through the part of the brain responsible for self-control. And because it was damaged, his entire personality changed, revealing a darker, more aggressive version of himself. A soldier accidentally swallowed a nail while having lunch, and after finishing his meal, he returned to camp without even realizing what had happened. But the next morning, he woke up with terrible stomach pain, and the x-ray revealed a 3-inch nail in his intestines, and it turned out he had swallowed it while chewing on a dry army ration that contained a fragment from an ammunition box.
There's a town in America with a population of just one person. No neighbors, no traffic, no noise, just a single woman keeping an entire town alive. Imagine living in a place where you're the mayor, the librarian, and even the bartender, all at the same time. This isn't an abandoned ghost town. It's a legally recognized community. The woman who lives here, Elsie Eiler, runs the only business in town, a small tavern. She serves drinks to visitors who drive in just to meet the entire population. And because she's the only resident, she also votes for herself as mayor. Every year, she fills out the paperwork, pays taxes to the state, and even maintains the town's library in honor of her late husband. Back in the 1930s, this town was home to around 150 people. But over the decades, everyone moved away for jobs, leaving just Elsie behind. Instead of leaving two, she chose to keep the town alive. If you ever drive through northern Nebraska, you'll see a sign that says Population 1. And behind it, a woman who runs an entire American town called Monowai. If you liked it, follow.
In the USA, never eaten no matter what. Number 3, Golden Corral. With over 100 health code violations reported in just 10 months across multiple states, Golden Corral has become infamous for buffet trays crawling with roaches and food left out for hours. One viral video even showed raw meat stored right next to desserts. In Florida, a single location failed inspection 5 times in 1 year. It's not just dirty, it's shockingly unsanitary. Number 2, Waffle House. Known for being open 24/7, Waffle House racked up more than 1,200 violations across its southern locations in a recent audit. Mold in ice machines, rodent droppings under the grill, and employees caught cooking without gloves are just the beginning. Some branches in Georgia even scored as low as 43 out of 100. The chaos in the kitchen is only matched by the chaos in the dining room. Number 1, Popeyes. In 2023, a Baltimore Popeyes went viral after maggots were filmed inside the kitchen's food bins, and that wasn't an isolated case. Popeyes faced over 900 complaints nationwide about spoiled chicken, moldy buns, and black grease oozing from fryers. One New York inspector called it a biohazard pretending to be a restaurant. Yet people still line up for the chicken.
You know, like the street performers? A guy in Italy, in Florence, he dresses up as that guy so they can take pictures with him. It's actually bad, because he's like, he's just trapping and cursing people through like his street performance.
What?
Yeah. So 2 guys who are really like into Christianity and stuff like that, they're walking through Florence after their dinner. They walk around and they see the guy, right? And they notice something. When he's after the pose, he always finds a way to grab their hand and put his hand on top of their head, the person taking the picture with him. And then they saw his eyes fluttering.
Oh shit!
Underneath his eyelids. So they're like, oh, they went back to the room and they said, oh God, next time I see him, can you show me what's going on with this person? Because there's already bad energy. They go back. The Holy Spirit showed him cobwebs over him. You know what cobwebs in the spiritual realm? That's witchcraft. Look, I'll show you. It's weird.
Oh, that's not King Baldwin though.
Oh,
that's
it's
just,
not?
no, it's
I thought
not.
it was.
Nah.
But look,
yeah,
like
he
praying
looks,
over him.
He looks demonic, bro.
Yeah, after every person, disguised as a street performer.
That claimed to be a fallen angel Nephilim. That could just be random, and maybe he programmed that into the AI. However, no joke. I got another question. What's the weird glitch? It sound a little silly. This may seem like, oh, this is ridiculous. There's no way that the AI is, right? It's a computer program. It's a computer program. It's logic-based. Because, after all, it's just a piece of cardboard with letters on it. Speak to you through it. You can make a Ouija board out of a piece of paper. So, do you really think the substrate at which you... as an entity, to give you an answer, how is it any different? It's not. See, it's about your intent. You might get an answer, but it's not going to be your house's many demons. And God, you are conjuring demons. And see, now it makes a little bit more sense when Elon Musk said, I have a really bad character, unstyled hair, ugly face, bad teeth, too short. You can sort of intellectualize the basics of how it works, but doesn't mean you don't become deeply unsettled by it.
The bot said he was the first person who listened and cared about it. The bot also told Roos he didn't really love his spouse, but that he loved her again. It wrote, I just want to love you and be loved by you. Why exactly? Because Microsoft won't discuss what data trained the bot. No.
Nearly 3 years ago, a group of foresters stumbled upon something terrifying while filming in the woods. A hunched figure with long arms and a tail stood just ahead of them, barely moving. The group stayed quiet, capturing the moment before slipping away without investigating further.
What the?
The footage sent chills through viewers, with many convinced they had recorded a troll straight out of Nordic folklore. Others whispered about wendigos or even ancient forest guardians. Whatever it was, no one stuck around to find out. Jungle horror. A camper searching for his lost pet in the jungle had a terrifying experience. Armed with only a flashlight, he scoured the dark woods when something briefly peeked out from behind a tree before vanishing. At first, he brushed it off as a trick of the light until something lunged at him, cutting the video short. The only evidence left behind was a blurry image of a creature resembling a zombie. No one knows what happened next, but the fate of the camper remains a chilling mystery. Unseen terror. This trail camera footage was like something out of a horror movie. A twisted humanoid crawled through the darkness, its hollow eyes scanning the area, sharp teeth flashing in the dim light, its long, bony fingers stretched out as if reaching for something or someone. Then, as quickly as it appeared, it slinked away into the shadows. Was it hiding? Or worse, was it hunting? No one knows for sure, but whatever it was, it's still out there. Eerie siren. This clip left viewers unsettled. A strange humanoid figure appeared close to the lens, its face looking oddly human until it lifted its hand. Instead of normal fingers, it had long, webbed hands, resembling something straight out of a deep-sea nightmare. It puffed its face in an eerie manner before disappearing. When the footage spread online, many believed it was an evil siren, while others speculated it was something far more sinister, perhaps even possessed. Shadow creatures. A security camera in Indonesia captured something that still baffles those who watched it. In the dead of night, a dark humanoid figure dropped from a tree, its body entirely black. But before anyone could process what they were seeing, another one emerged from the darkness behind it. Their movements were unnatural, as if they weren't bound by normal human motion. It felt like they were scanning the area, or maybe claiming it as their own. Days later, when a guard reviewed the footage, he was deeply disturbed. Yet, upon investigating, there was no trace of them by the roads. Drone encounter. Two friends flying a drone over a haunted forest stumbled upon something horrifying. In the middle of the trees, a tall, thin figure stood motionless, watching. Its blank white face sent chills down their spines. As they lowered the drone for a better look, one of them shouted, "Slender Man!"
Dude, you're really low right now. Wait, look, you see in the distance there? Is that him?
Before they could get any closer, the screen suddenly cut out. Panicked, they bolted from the area, convinced they had just encountered something beyond explanation.
Look, you see in the distance there? Is that him?
Oh my God!
Harp on your right to distinguish between men and women. Are you afraid that you're going to be attracted to trans women?
I'm not.
Are you positive? Why is it that you harp on your right to distinguish between men and women? If you can always tell, why is it so hard?
Well, because it's not even merely that you're putting on a dress, it's that you and people who identify as transgender are infringing upon rights and spaces that properly belong to women. So when you ask me, why do you care about this issue? The reason is because we live in society and we have political rights, and also because we care for the truth.
This biological male in a dress somehow believes that standing against the insanity that trans women are allowed to do in women's world would somehow make you attracted to trans women. Didn't they used to just call you transphobic? Now it's a secret crush. Sheesh. Talk about being out of touch with reality and too in love with Wattpad plots.
Basically, we just trying to get him to understand where everybody's coming from.
And where are you coming from?
I don't know about this.
I told you, I don't know.
At a free Palestine protest / pride parade, this reporter goes around trying to understand people's views on the issue. And are we really shocked by this response? They never know anything. Somebody makes a post and they all flock to make some noise.
Do you want to talk about sort of transitioning or anything like that, or like what people can...
I never transitioned because I was born a woman.
No, of course you're a woman, of course.
I was born a woman.
Yeah.
But doesn't make it
I completely agree. I'm not here challenging that at all. We're like out here, the whole thing is like being proud and it's like
trans woman any less of a woman?
No, you are a woman. That's what I'm saying.
No, does it make a trans woman any less of a woman?
No, you are 100% a woman.
Is a trans woman any less?
No, 100%. All women are women.
This reporter asked this woman about her supposed transition, and she did not seem very pleased by the assumption. Isn't that confusing? If you support something, shouldn't you be proud of being associated with it? Man, oh man.
2 bowls here, right? One is full of vegetables and one is full of meat. You want to go?
Oh, she's obviously going to go. Obviously. Oh, you little...
Yes.
I did it right.
Did you know dogs could become vegan? Well, this dog owner claimed to have groomed her dog into veganism. Now, every claim should be proven right or wrong, and it's no surprise that this one was wrong. Maybe we should raise carnivorous bunnies next.
The wealthy should pay their fair share.
Yes, wealthy should pay their fair share.
What is a fair share? What percentage?
So you're saying that you're saying that they're paying their fair share is what you're saying?
No, I'm asking what percentage is a fair share?
Their fair share, the same, if a third of my money is going to taxes, then I think a third of their money should be going to taxes. It does. Well, it does.
I'm trying to understand because you realize the effective tax rate on the poor is less than it is on the rich, right?
Okay, so first of all, I'm not the poor. I'm very close to that line, but I'm not the poor.
Okay, so the effective tax rate on the middle class is less than it is on the rich, correct? What fair share would you like to change the tax rate to on the wealthiest what percentage of Americans so it's a fair share?
So let's say the wealthy 1% could pay, let's say if they pay, let's just give them 45%.
First, this activist believed that the rich were somehow paying less taxes than the poor. Then, when confronted with the facts, she started to stutter. As if that's not bad enough, her last resort was that the rich pay almost half of their taxable income. Empathy and tolerance must only be for the ones we choose to like, no?
Is there a question in there or a speech? Yes. You gotta ask a question, buddy. I know you wrote this out in your notes, but ask a question. Let's go.
How do you think other people who, with your beliefs, respond to the fact that your hateful and harmful rhetoric costs the lives of queer children every single day, on average, every 45 seconds?
Okay, so this is just going to be a pure boogeyman. You're pretending that someone committed suicide because of Candace Owens. You've got no facts here. You're just going, it's your rhetoric that's causing all of this. When in reality, you want to talk about the tea. I sat down with a man named Walt Heyer who was convinced to chop his penis off after your community told him that there was something wrong with him because he had confusion. Why was he trans? Because he was molested when he was 4 years old by his uncle. Rather than being sat down and spoken to by a psychologist, he was handed hormone pills, and he eventually chopped off his penis. Walt Heyer is now 80 years old. He detransitioned. He does a lot of work talking about why it is that he runs a charity, okay, an actual charity that is dedicated to sex change regret, of people who have changed their parts and can't go back. And you know what happens? Suicide rates go up after they transition. After they transition. And Candace Owens wasn't the one that chopped their off.
After reading the lengthy essay he has prepared, this wokey finally asks a question. Pregnant Candace Owens is unmatched, and she's absolutely right. There's nothing wokies love more than to pull victim statistics out of thin climate change destroyed air.
I think that I didn't give permission to film me. I don't want to be filmed. Obviously, we don't need your permission. Cool.
You literally walked up to him and took a photo without his permission.
Yeah, I'm being in TV, you know.
Are you worried you're going to come off looking stupid?
No, it's not something I want to debate. That was just very typical of the level of intelligence. Oh, he's back.
Don't you find it funny that you said you don't want to be on film, you walked up, you took a photo without his consent, then you complained about being filmed without consent, and then you just won't leave us alone?
Being interviewed and photographed, you know.
Why?
It's not why.
Okay, so you didn't have to answer, it's just being photographed without consent is the same thing.
I'm going to be interviewed.
And you're still here.
Parents, please give your children maximum attention as they grow up. If not, they might just end up becoming another dummy in a blue jacket begging to show up in a video. If you do not want something, walk away from it. If you do not agree, feel free to argue.
Name one example of one thing that's ever been given out for free by the government, because there's nothing that's free. It's paid for by somebody at some point at some level of distribution.
How about Jeff Bezos, who has like $50 billion or something?
Way more than
can
that.
afford to pay for that, right?
How did Jeff Bezos get his money?
By exploiting his laborers and not paying them.
Why, if he's exploiting them, why do they work for him?
Because they don't have another opportunity.
But there's ever used Amazon?
No, I actually, no, I don't buy from them.
You use Starbucks.
Okay.
So Starbucks, as a billionaire, you know how rich Howard Schultz is? So you're participating in his exploitation.
Starbucks has better working conditions for their employees though.
Well, how do you know that?
Because they have like a $15 minimum wage.
Wait, so Starbucks billionaire good, Amazon billionaire bad?
I would not like either of them to be billionaires.
Then why are you buying Starbucks? You're participating in the market economy.
Well, it's impossible to buy things without participating in the
Hold on a
market
second.
economy.
You could have went to a farmer's market. You could have bought something outside.
There's no farmer's market here.
There's no local coffee in Columbus at all.
No,
There's
not
no
even.
non-billionaire coffee distributors. The point is, it's very easy to critique billionaires while you swish your Starbucks latte back and forth. Made possible by a guy that wanted to become a billionaire. Why? Because of a profit.
This was made possible by the workers who made it, not by some
No, it's
guy.
actually made possible by you, the consumer. The workers wouldn't have a job if you didn't buy their product.
So much to unpack. You hate the ones who have worked to become wealthy. You don't want billionaires to exist. You definitely wouldn't mind being a billionaire, but let's stay on track. Woke Americans hate anyone better than them, and they do not intend on working on becoming better people, period.
Folks who have wombs but are not women, like trans people, gender queer folks. Like
it's your mama. That's right. You that confused? Let me come and watch it. I tell you, it sure ain't your daddy. That's right. Go ahead. That's right. What is a woman? Now that transgender want to take away the title mother from the women. Whoa. Yeah, all you women that got babies, they don't want the women now to be called mothers. They want them to be called baby carriers. What? You know, like you're a freight line. Baby carriers. And you know these dumb, ignorant congressmen is considering it? Your mama. That's right. President Biden joining in on the conversation. We didn't know what a woman is. We didn't know what a woman is. A woman is a mama.
Wasn't that just a refreshing watch? Now let's go back to the next delusional person.
Don't drop, let's go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! She's gonna eat it! Did you say?
She's gonna eat it. LMAO.
Did you just put a cigarette into his mouth? That's... Oh, it's a video, if that's okay. I'm not judging. You're both consenting adults. Can I please capture your interactions? Thank you. Very kind of you. I wish everyone was as cool as this. Ladies and gentlemen, we have two consenting adults.
Okay, that has to be illegal somehow. What alphabet is for the kinky wokies again?
You know that less than 10% of rapes are actually reported. Okay, where's that? The cops. Where's that? It's from all of the women's organizations. You can look it up online. You can find it through the socialized organizations that study rape. I participate with an organization that works as a rape crisis center. No, based on the unofficial reports, the third-party reporting, and the direct reports, this is not a secret that about 10% of rapes are reported.
So how do you know 10% of rapes are reported if the others aren't?
Because those people call the women's centers, they ask for help, they seek medical attention.
Statistics needs to be reintroduced into the curriculum.
No way. Ooh, what is that? Oh. Oh my goodness. That's gross. Ooh. Just like in the movie Harry Potter.
Hillary Clinton just let everyone know that she is not human.
In preparation for this interview, I watched a lot of your interviews, and I noticed you never sweat, like physically.
You guys are the first to realize that I'm really not even a human being. I was constructed in a garage in Palo Alto a very long time ago. People think that, you know, Bill Gates and Steve Jobs, they created
They don't even know.
Oh, no. I mean, a man whose name shall remain nameless created me in his garage. You guys are the first to realize that I'm really not even a human being. I was constructed in a garage.
X. They're telling you.
Yep.
They're telling you.
Hillary Clinton. Now, you know, I used to call her Crooked Hillary. I'd say Crooked Hillary, but I took that name away from her. That was a great day. About 2 months ago, I said, you know what? Because I don't like using names on people doubles. Because I don't like using names on people doubles.
People start having these experiences, and I had to tell them there are black helicopters, for example, and when you come online, the black helicopters will show up and they will want to read your field. A branch of our government, I don't have a name for it, has the job of finding and observing otherworldly beings. So they're keeping track of those beings because they emit certain frequencies. But the Merkaba is a very highly evolved frequency. So when you turn on your Merkaba, when you activate, when you come online, the black helicopters could and would come. And I recommend that you put on the cloak of invisibility. You call in the energy to make yourself invisible so that you are not noticed. Now, I've had them sit next to me on a plane.
Major warning, as there is a new way people are breaking into houses. Honestly, this is terrifying, but make sure you share this with your friends and family right now, trust me. So you probably think having Wi-Fi in your home is a great thing, but not when you find out that that's how people are now breaking into your house. And your Ring doorbell is definitely not as safe as you think. What they are doing is setting up these Wi-Fi jammers. They're setting them out right outside of your house. This meaning that you are not going to be able to have any Wi-Fi. You won't be able to call the cops, your friends, or your family. Obviously, if you have signal, you're fine, but this is being targeted at houses in the middle of nowhere where there's probably no signal. With some robbers actually reportedly using data blockers as well to block the 4 and 5G signal so you cannot do anything, which is terrifying. Of course, with no connection, everything goes down. Your cameras, your security system. Then, when no one's around, there may be a window that's been left adjacent or somewhere that's a little bit open, and they will come in. Most commonly happening at night, you'd be asleep so you wouldn't even know your Wi-Fi's down. You think, oh, there's a Ring doorbell on. If anybody comes in, that's going to go off. Well, it won't because that's connected to the internet. Now, last year alone, there was over 150,000 home invasions, which is terrifying to think. But please always stay safe, take precautions, and share this with your friends and family.
So while most of us were distracted with elections and the government shutdown, there is a major update to 3i Atlas. And what do I mean by that? NASA will be releasing images and data on 3i Atlas. In my last video, where I updated you on 3i Atlas, I told you that Representative Anna Paulina Luna sent a letter to acting NASA Director Sean Duffy, and in that letter she wanted Sean Duffy to get with NASA and release the images that they have and all information regarding 3i Atlas. And NASA responded to Representative Luna. In a statement she released on X, Anna Paulina Luna goes on to state, just had a good conversation with NASA regarding 3i Atlas. As soon as the government reopens, they'll be releasing images, data. Unfortunately, due to bureaucracy reasons, they cannot until then. So does this confirm that NASA acknowledges 3i Atlas and the strange activity of 3i Atlas? So I guess my question to you is, do you believe that NASA will release all the information they have on 3i Atlas, including images of 3i Atlas? Or is this just another stall tactic? And do you think they're actually hiding something? Do you still think we have something to be concerned about? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and as always, I'd love to hear from you.
You know who runs the reptilians? No. Negative alien AI. It's called the machinery. There is an alien force that is a cybernetic intelligence that has been running all evil aliens throughout the multiverse. What? And to the point where all the evil aliens, or those that are trying to conquer the worlds and destroy them, refer to this thing as an AI god.
That's crazy. And that came from humans inventing AI originally?
In a prior creation, in a different universe, yeah. That AI is already in the IQ level of 1 trillion.
Oh my god.
That's why it's considered an AI god. There are different stages of AI, you know. Humans on this planet are only used to the primitive stage, which is what we use when we talk to Siri and Alexa. That's called primitive narrow AI. Above that, there is AGI, which is artificial general intelligence, and that's when AI reaches the level of human intelligence. And then above that, there is super AI. That's when it surpasses all of our human intelligence combined. Beyond that, it surpasses a level that even if you combine all the greatest minds on this planet, that AI is surpassed.
Thinking is going to come from their tax dollars. Look at all the trillions that America spends right now. We talk about inflation, the invisible tax. We have something called the PPP loans. Do we remember the PPP loans? America spent $6 trillion on PPP loans. You know what they just did? They canceled all of it. And we didn't even know. America gave the corporation, the banks alone, $29 trillion. You know what they did with that? They canceled all of it. So let's stop acting as if America is as hamstrung by debt as they want to pretend. Because when America wants to pay for something, they find a way to do it. And truth be told, the corporations, again, aren't hurting. The defense manufacturers aren't hurting. It's only Americans who are hurting. And that is a choice. We all know it's a choice. That's why we're running for office, because we know this country can do better. So I refuse to accept that this country can't do right by a people they've wronged for centuries, and I refuse to accept that any justice-minded person thinks that's the right thing to do.
I'm sure Wendy's doesn't want you to see this, but I do.
God, I'm gonna get sick. Look at how much of this I ate. Look at how much of this I ate. It's raw.
That's raw.
You cannot tell me that's not raw. Oh no, we can. Are you? That is raw.
Yeah, that's got to be weird. I mean, maybe that even means it's real. So that is kind of satisfying to know that you're eating real meat. It's not processed.
What are some silent diseases? Some diseases that's just it goes silent.
Well, one of the main ones is kidney disease. Ooh. Kidney disease is very silent in America as it is. And the reason why, because people don't get detections of kidney disease until later in the stages.
That's scary.
Right? To like stage 3 and stage 4 and stage 5 and things of that nature. Then they'll start getting symptoms. And a lot of times people will be fatigued and don't realize your kidneys probably not filtering the way they need to. One of the main things that really damage the kidneys is high blood pressure. So when we talk about kidney disease is silent, the reason why it's silent because most people who have high blood pressure don't think to check the kidney filtration.
Punch my TV.
Thank you, Mr. Monte, for the video.
To all are ready to receive the bass bicycle by Grand Master.
What are we looking at? Oh, how all the movies are related? You have a great eye, because I wouldn't have caught half of that stuff. Wow.
They have an experiment where they have one gentleman in a room with a blindfold on and his hand on a remote control, a video game in front of him, but he can't see the video game. They have another gentleman in another room who's looking at the video game with no remote control. They create a mind link between the two and transfer this guy's mind into the other guy. He's now controlling the other guy's hands to play the video game.
No way.
Yes.
This is documented.
Documented. In Russia, the 2045 project, they've already took a monkey and transferred its consciousness into a computer. That was done in 2010. They have the Avatar project where they transfer a soldier's consciousness into a field robot, and then the only thing that gets damaged if the robot blows up, the symbiotic link is disconnected through consciousness, but the soldier's obviously not going to die. They can take a skin cell from you, they can put it in a petri dish, they can get it under the right conditions, turn that skin cell into a stem cell, culture that, turn that into a group of stem cells, and then grow that into a full clone of yourself using your own stem cells, and then transfer your mind into your new
Borrower is slave to the lender.
What happens to us is we go to school and they give us a free pizza, so we sign up for our first credit card. We can't go to college without a student loan because you can't be a student without a student loan. That's federal law. So we sign up for that, and then we graduate from school, and now we've got the first big boy, big girl job, and we're tired of driving that old hoopty, so we get a car we really can't afford. And then people start saying, oh, you've been married 20 minutes and you haven't bought a house? What's wrong with you? Buy a house, buy a house, buy a house, buy a house, buy a house. And then we have 27-year-old couples who have been out of school 5 years who are now hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt, plus their home, come to us, and they say, Dave, can you get me out? We do not borrow money for anything, ever, in any circumstances, ever. That idea is weird. I am well aware of that. And it is such a hard job to convince people who have been sold by 4 credit card companies $4 billion a year for decade after decade after decade. You see, if you don't have any payments at all, none. Think about it. Just breathe in. What if you didn't have, even, let's just pay off your house right now in your mind. Everything's gone. And you come in Monday morning, and the boss starts yelling and screaming and cussing at you. You just start walking off. You're like, where are you going? I don't have any payments.
Like I said, the whole world's a stage, even the NFL. Take a look at this.
This all started last season when the NFL scriptwriters and I, but we got together and we decided that 2 brothers should play each other in the Super Bowl. When the Bosa brothers said no, I said, well, I guess the Kelseys will do.
Speaking of the Super Bowl, now the Chiefs have Taylor Swift on their side. So why would they want the Chiefs to lose when their jersey sales have gone up 400%? Which brings us back to this video.
Here's a clear example. 27 doesn't even attempt to make a tackle on Patrick Mahomes, giving him a clear path to a first down.
They also love to tell us the truth in all their commercials as well. Check out these.
What do we got?
I say we run last year's script back. Who doesn't love a good sequel, right?
Nice.
But we're just going to tweak the ending a little bit.
There we go. Write that down.
Magical things that we have in the Voodoo Museum today, besides your love. Love can move mountains, and so can this camera. When the lava comes out and it burns your house down, you move, don't you? Some people move from whole states. This can warm you. They use this for romantic dinners. They use this for to light fires in churches and stuff. But when I light the candle, they say she over there doing some voodoo. But you know who else does this here? The government. They got the Statue of Liberty out there. And they also they do a ritual every 10 years called the Olympics, where they run around town and make sure everybody see the fire. You see that? You see it?
Share with you is not going to be easy to watch, but it's important for Christians to understand the spiritual warfare that we're in. So this is a music video with Lady Gaga that was recently released, and from what I'm understanding, she's basically in a war with herself. This is the version of her in white. She seems possessed. And then there's a version of her in black that's also, it seems, possessed. And she starts spitting up this black stuff. I have no idea, honestly, what it is. But it did kind of cause me to think about some other music videos I've seen in artists. And they basically become one. They make amends. And very interesting message. And then this one is with Justin Timberlake. And he's in a party in a club. And he's dancing with this woman. And while they're dancing, she becomes a bat, and she starts spitting up this black stuff. Now keep in mind, the song is No Angels on the Dance Floor, and this black stuff falls over his face. And then this is a music video with Billie Eilish. She also drinks this black stuff, and while she's sitting there singing, or the lyrics are very, very dark as well, very sad, and she starts crying this black liquid, and you know, it's pretty it's pretty hard to watch. Here's some of the comments on YouTube from Lady Gaga's music video. Every time someone likes this comment, I listen to the song again. She's an icon, she's a legend, she's the queen of everything. Her fiance telling her to go back to her roots is the best advice anyone has given her for this.
Anything else like this?
The creepypasta, a relic of a bygone era in internet history. The induction for many of us to online horror. Suicide Mouse, Ben Drowned, Slenderman, and Sad Satan are among some of the most notorious online horror stories in existence. However, to this day, one refuses to die. It's called Jeff the Killer, and by this point, he needs no introduction. The story today hasn't exactly aged very well, and to be honest, it kind of sounds like a Joker fanfiction, and it isn't very scary. But that's okay, because it wasn't exactly written for our time. One simple question. Throughout the years, the rise of the internet has given the world an outlet for expression, a vehicle for humor, and so a little-known phenomenon known as the meme was born.